All right, 3, 2, 1, boom. Okay, this is historic. Hang the fuck on, by the way, spelled P-H-U-C-K. This is Energy Boom 101. Now, this is about the 135th one I've done, but we're basically just going to call this number 1. This is going to be perfect. This is the remix. This is Dispatch from the Patch 1. Dance fucking remix. Energy Boom 101. What you're seeing is a Harvest Moon over Boom U. What you're hearing is some pretty good bluesy rock and roll going on right down there. Now that's a bar here at Boom U. If you haven't guessed where Boom U is, you'll probably figure out by the end of this dispatch. I've only got 15 minutes, so I'm going to do my best to try and catch you up on everything and let you know what we're attempting to do here. Our humble knight's errand is, as I scan, by the way, I'm hoping to give you a full view of Boom U, because this wicked university is about to boom like you can't imagine, probably for 10 years, minus any cataclysmic world-changing events like what happened in late 2008 with the housing bubble that Wall Street launched and just whip-shitted the rest of the world, which is pretty fucking priceless, actually. That said, it's going to take a repeat of that late 2008 cataclysmic event to change the trend. The trend is there's a huge fucking energy boom going on. And anyone who went to this school in the 80s, you just had to grow up in Oklahoma. By the way, this is OU, so shut the fuck up. This is Boom U, OU. It is cradled in black gold, which right now is coveted, like you can't imagine, around the world. So we're really lucky because right now, another energy boom has arrived. If you're from Oklahoma, you know what this shit's all about. By the way, I don't know who this band is. I like what they're showing me. I like what they're telling me. I like the narrative that's being spun here today, kids. And we'll talk about that later. That's going to be one of the side shows. It's going to be called Chasing the Narrative. Oh, also, by the way, help wanted right now. Anyone, I can't pay you in anything other than stock options, which are worthless, because we haven't issued them yet. But anyone that wants to help, please let us know in what way you can. We're going to get this thing figured out. It's real simple. This show is an attempt to track an energy boom that is unfurling as we speak in Oklahoma and basically across the United States, and is spreading around the globe. That's why it's going to be the mother of all booms. No one really believes that yet, but I've got pretty good evidence to suggest that it's a decade-long boom, and that's for starters. I know in Oklahoma we now have very strong evidence, and I'll get to that later, that it's a 6 to 7 year investment of hundreds of millions of dollars in Oklahoma. Investment meaning the money's pouring in for that entire amount of time. So for 6 or 7 years, there's money invested in Oklahoma drilling. There is... and I'll show you the article. It's a great article from Seeking Alpha that discusses PetroQuest's completion results in the Woodford Shale in southeast Oklahoma, which is Little Dixie, by the way. So we're going to call that article, when we get to it, we're going to call it Lighten It Up in Little Dixie, because they are lighting it up. PetroQuest is popping some wicked natural gas liquid wells. They're exceeding expectations by crazy. Now, I don't want to get off on a tangent here, but suffice to say, Devon Energy and a few other Oklahoma energy companies that are publicly traded are drilling the Woodford, so you should expect to hear about stunning, nothing less than probably stunning and stellar results of well production. We call those gushers, by the way, black gold gushers, not to be confused with green gold gushers, which is the other half of the show we're doing here. Great segue, by the way. Kids, are you still there? We're only at 4 minutes into the hour. We used to have 18 subscribers. I suspect by now it's dwindled down to about 13, and you would think that's an unlucky number, but it's not. It's a lucky number 13. A baker's dozen. We're happy to see it. But seriously, folks, let me get back on track. We just fracked the brain with a little California Cali. We're feeling good, and we're giving you a really good overview of what this show's going to be all about. Energy Boom 101 was originally about the energy boom that I knew was coming to Oklahoma the moment I saw the article where Devon, and this was 3 or 4 years ago, maybe even longer, but Devon simply made an announcement that they were divesting all of their assets to the tune of about $8 billion, and they were going to reinvest all of that money in North America. Are you fucking kidding me? That was considered, North America was considered the land of dead as far as oil extraction goes, because the Saudis were cracking it out of the ground at a third of the price. Pretty simple economics for the global market. By the way, you got to love oil because it is a global market. And there's a great quote. A guy says that basically life is an energy game. And we don't want to stray too far off, because that's going to be another side show we're going to do with the philosophy department, which is, free will, does it exist, or are we all just silly little gushers? Trademark that. But that'll be something we're gonna get with Boom U's philosophy department. Speaking of the ivory towers, let me give you a shot of Boom U. Now, this is looking west. Anyone who's from Norman knows the west side was a long time ago undeveloped. Crawdad ponds, cornfields, Potts Dairy maybe. Now it's all developed. It's the rich money. We don't need to mess with them. They're unbelievable. And then, so now we're spinning. You got, you're in the heart of Boom U. There's the clock tower. Many claim was built as a phallic symbol for former President Banowski. I shit you not. Google it. Then you can see the Oklahoma Memorial Stadium, unbelievable, legendary stadium. By the way, getting ready to do a fucking, from what I hear, big-time renovation / expansion. Here's a great Boom symbol that we're going to see as soon as it's public, and maybe it's already public. Maybe it's been public for 10 fucking years. But Oklahoma Memorial Stadium, which just did a build-out to its east side with suite boxes and everything. Great scandal behind that, by the way, kids. But I digress. That'll be for another class that we'll hold somewhere off campus. The stadium I hear is getting ready to expand aggressively, so I can't wait to hear the plans. That'll be a big Boom announcement here at 6 minutes and 30 seconds into K-Rig. By the way, that's going to be the name of the radio show if no one has taken that. We eventually want to get off this ridiculous YouTube thing and this me behind the camera. We want to get a radio show at the Sooner Theater, but that's going to take a while. And speaking of theaters, dead straight ahead is the Boomer Theater. Now, legendary theater. Pat Benatar played their kids back in about 1979. Patty B. Pat Benatar, by the way, on drums. Myron Kronbaker, unbelievable. Watch the faces that he makes. Do me a personal favor. Watch MTV, about 1981, 82. Any Pat Benatar video. Check out the drummer. Greatest faces, and he snaps his neck. There's something going on there. I would suggest something's wound a little tight inside. No one knows. Oh, shit. Listen. That's the bells of Boom U. Listen. Listen! However, do not ask for whom they toll. Okay, you just heard the bells of Boom U. Very, very important, because that's integrated into most dispatches. You'll just hear them. They go off every 15 fucking minutes. They're unbelievable. Bourne's unbelievable. He's living over there somewhere kicking ass. By the way, he's going to have so much frickin' capital. He already has, and it's going to continue to flow for 10 years, that you're going to see a few skyscrapers, I'm sure of it, in the next couple years. It'll be announced. All this shit is damn near fait accompli. Anyway, we were talking about something. I'm sure it was the Boomer Theater, which is unbelievable. But here's a sweeping view of Campus Corner, which, by the way, is in play. That's what they would say. They would say Campus Corner's in play, and let me tell you why. Spin over here. Now, anyone who's aware of Campus Corner, picture in your mind Club 747, tragically hip, beautiful people, probably some pretty wicked pieces of stemware over there. Club 747. Okay, so directly north, I believe, of Club 747 are 5 open empty retail spots. Prime heart of downtown Campus Corner, Boom U. And it was learned on the streets that CVS Pharmacy, yes, CVS Pharmacy, I repeat, old story. Someone scooped me on this. Scoop U, took it to Boom U. But that is now, it's official. CVS Pharmacy's moving in. They're taking 5 storefronts on Campus Corner. That's huge. That's a huge anchor tenant arriving. Now, there's going to be more. And there's already some smaller independent shops that are opening up. There's a place right next to Pepe's that I think is going to be called like Wang Boutique or something. Anyway, we're going to cover all this because it's all changing right in front of us. This university, Boom U, is in transformation. It's just started. We'll track the whole fucking thing, spelled PH. Then we're also going to track downtown because downtown is on the verge of booming. It's been booming for 2 years, but no one's seen it until now. And then they're going to watch it happen for the next 10 fucking years. It's priceless. So we're basically going to try and cover the story of the energy boom as it hits Oklahoma and the marijuana boom as it's hitting Wall Street. It's already hit. It hit a year ago, but it's in marijuana mania, so I wouldn't recommend you buy anything other than GW Pharmaceutical, kids. GW Pharmaceutical, brought to you by GW Pharmaceutical. This episode I would like to dedicate to GW Pharmaceutical for having the balls to be smart enough to incorporate outside of the United States restrictive bullshit laws. By the way, I'm on a rant here, bear with me. And guess what they did? They snuck under the radar a drug called Sativex, which is in the third phase of clinical trials, and it appears to be getting ready to, the next step would be, if approved, will then go to FDA approval, and as best we can tell, it is, and this is a shocker, I know, so stand back and sit down because it's amazing news. It's apparently incredibly effective at treating a few different issues within the cancer realm. One is pain, the other, I don't know what the hell it is because I didn't read the report. I don't give a frog's fat ass. I know it works. The drug's called Sativex. Shut the fuck up. This is a no-brainer. Marijuana is going to disrupt the medicine industry the same way that the United States shale energy, oil and gas, is disrupting the global market. It's that fucking simple. I love it. 2 games are on. We're going to keep an overview on both games. It'll be simple because we're going to keep just a broad overview of it. And we're going to report it every fucking day by reading the headlines. And remember that. I'm going to trademark that phrase because it just came to me. Marijuana is going to upend the medical community, amongst a few others, by the way. The pharmaceutical community, a few others are going to get upended by it. The same way that the United States shale, gas, and oil is upending the global energy market. 2 great games are in play. One we get to see disrupt our own home soil. The other we get to see disrupt the world. And it's going to be a lot of fun, and that's why we're here at Boom U. Now, let me show you this place we got. We did a deal with McClendon. I wasn't supposed to say that, but we did a deal with McClendon. We got ourselves some digs here. I'll show you some maps on the wall. We've got documents to back up everything I'm talking about here. This isn't a fucking hidden thing. It's all public, and all we're wanting to do is track it. We think our big bet, which by the way I placed on GMX stock. Thank you very much. Buy them, kids. Buy all you can. Run for the fucking hills. But remember this, my friends. I love them, and I will say it right now. I love those motherfuckers for dropping the bankruptcy on me on April fucking Fools. April 1st, 2013, GMX goes bankrupt, I go bankrupt, that's why I'm here. And now, aside from that, we also did a deal with McClendon, and we're not supposed to say that. But this place is unbelievable, and as you can see, it gives you great access to Boom U. And also, you get to watch Family Guy and Cleveland Show and American Dad, greatest shows ever, by the way. Seth MacFarlane, if you're out there, we would love to have you on this balcony as the first guest of Energy Boom 101. The first celebrity dispatch from the patch would be Seth MacFarlane. And if he did it, then I know Alanis Morissette would do it, which would be unfucking believable. And we would launch it. We don't know how. We'll figure it out. But if you're out there, have your people get in touch with mine. Right now I've got 18 subscribers. I'm sure it dropped to 13. After this punishment, by the way, we're at 13 minutes into it, kids. And that's not a coincidence. This isn't some 420 thing. This is just cosmic. This is just cosmic, so just deal with it. It is now 13 minutes into it. I just referenced the Baker's Dozen, 13, at least 3 times this inaugural episode, this first dispatch from the patch. I do want to tell you real quick before we sign off about the Boom. It's the world's greatest birdcage liner, greatest newspaper ever. It hit the streets a week ago. Cafe Plaid, Boom U was nice enough to let me put out 15 copies, of which 2 were instantly, I think, thrown to the trash. But seriously, folks. And then the Gray Owl, kids, go see the Gray Owl. Lovely, great, one of the greatest places downtown. The Gray Owl, go see them. They also allowed me to display the Boom. What is the Boom? It's the greatest newspaper ever. That's all you need to know. It's basically this video in a newspaper format. So, you know, I can double dip, I guess. I don't know. I haven't made a dime yet. And we're almost at 14 minutes into it, so I know that means that most everyone now is pretty well checked out. I want to thank you all for being complete zombies. This is a huge historic episode because I do feel like I was able to give you an overview, let you see what's happening, let you get the background. That's what we call the bubble and the buzz of the Boom. We've trademarked that. Don't fuck with it. Here's the Alley of Lost Souls. We've trademarked that. Don't fuck with it. There's all sorts of shit going on we'll probably never use because we don't want to exploit. We want to. We're cultural anthropologists. That's why we're going to get the cultural anthropologists from Boom U to come over here and help us with this. There's another bit of wealth creation we're going to hope to do. Every time we have an opportunity to bring someone into this discussion that adds value, we hope to find some way to pay them. Whether that means asking a sponsor to pony up or we find some way to make money. We don't know. No one knows. This whole thing's a fucking experiment. And we're about to shut it down. So I'm just going to time this thing to where you see that harvest moon as we get close to 15 minutes into it. And I'm going to sign off and let you know, I hope you all can hang around because this should be a hell of a show for 10 years. If this thing goes 10 days, it'll be a fucking miracle. 3, 2, 1, boom, see ya.